And Dan, obviously, you know, the name Zach Britton is becoming quite out there. I mean, we're seeing like 8 to 10 teams interested in Zach Britton. Tell us your thoughts on how soon Britton could be moved before the end of the month.
Well, Zach's picked up the tempo, and he's starting to throw good, I guess, about the last 2 weeks. So he's got his velocity up, got that good sink on his pitch, and he's gotten his control back. And so, and he's got a unique skill set. I think he was probably the best pitcher in the league in 16, and he's back near that form. So there's a couple of teams that think that he can help them down the stretch accomplish their goals. So we're talking to the teams about that and see if we can make a deal that can help the Orioles long term.
Dan, first of all, it looks like a great deal that you orchestrated. I'm very excited about it. But tell me about Yusniel Diaz. Is he going to be able to make it up here before the season's over?
Yeah, well, thanks, Rick. I appreciate that. I don't know if we're going to bring him up before the season's over, but the kid Diaz, his talent was on display last week during that Futures game. You know, you could see that not only can he hit, but he has power. And he hadn't hit that many home runs to this point in his career, but we all saw him hit the ball out opposite field over there in Washington, D.C. last week. He can run a little bit above average. He can throw above average. He can field. He can hit. He has power. So he has all the skills that you look for. And we thought he was the best player we were offered on the market out of any of the clubs that we were talking to. And, you know, he was the key player in the trade for us. They put a lot of money into signing him out of Cuba, and then they paid a significant penalty under the international recruiting rules. So they had a lot invested in him, and we thought it was a good opportunity to add a player who we think can be a good everyday ball player and hit up in the order and play a defensive position pretty well for us. In addition to that, we picked up a couple of infielders. Brevac Valera's got good on-base capability, and the other kid, Ryland Bannon, he's also a good hitter. I mean, he signed out of Xavier where he played with Zach Lowther, and since he signed, he's hit about 300, got on base 400, and slugged 500, which is a pretty good skill set. He's a gritty player, not very big. He's about Dustin Pedroia's size, but he's got some sock in his bat, and he's a hard-nosed kid. So we like him a lot. And the two pitchers, Dean Kramer got on our radar. We saw him in the World Baseball Classic representing Israel. He showed good moxie in the tournament there and a couple of good pitches, and he followed it up with one of the best seasons of any pitcher in low A ball. He recently got promoted to double A, but he's got all the pitches, and he's got a chance to be a starting pitcher. And then the kid, Zach Pop, we had 3 good scouting reports on him out of Kentucky a year ago. We had a couple of scouts that thought he was going to be an average major leaguer and one that thought he was going to be above average major leaguer. And he's got a good sinker, and he could be a good back-end reliever. So we got some pretty good depth in the trade that we like, and hopefully there'll be players that will help us for several seasons to come.
Dan, obviously you're trying to get younger. A young man that plays for you right now, Jonathan Scope, obviously is very young. Is he a priority for the future to try to sign him?
Well, John's getting back into form. You know, we like John. You know, he and Manny were good buddies. They came up through our farm system, and I saw that, you know, John had a lot of the same emotions that we had. We hated to see Manny go because we really enjoyed our time with him. But obviously we like John, and, you know, he's starting to get back on track, and you know, hope that he's with us for a long time. And, I mean, he was our best player a year ago. Obviously, and got off to a rough start with the bat this year, but looks like he's starting to come around.
Dan, you know, you decided to move Cedric Mullins up the ladder, and he's really responded very well at AAA ball. Is he another guy that's getting close to making it to this ball club now?
Yeah, he's doing good. Mullins doing good at AAA. He worked hard in the offseason, and he's an excellent defensive outfielder. He's got good range. Switch hitter. His speed plays on both sides of the ball. He's becoming an accomplished base stealer. What I like about him is he's got some outstanding power from the left side. He hits both left and right-handed, so he's a switch hitter. But he's made the adjustment to AAA, and he's hit well in that Norfolk ballpark. So I hope we can give him a trial here in the near term. I think he could be an everyday ball player for us. and also be a plus defender in the outfield and be a setup man at the top of our order. That'll give us some speed. That would be a shot in the arm, some of the things that our ball club is lacking.